Do we have to change her name?
No, I'm not gonna change my name.
Her name.
No.
And she's not really a ghost though. Is that like bad juju type of stuff?
No. Although I think it'd be really funny for people to be like, "What got the banana ghost?"
Shh, we haven't introduced you as the ghost yet.
Sorry, we gotta do the opening. This is what's in the box. With normally Zach and Cheryl, but now today Zach.
Cheryl's my best friend, so I'm gonna do it.
Zach and Tiff and a ghost.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to be seen?
Who shall be introduced later.
Who shall be introduced later. So if you hear voices from afar, it's because you are
from
crazy.
Beyond.
It's because you are crazy. You should probably get locked up.
Wait, does that mean we should get locked up?
No, we're fine.
Oh, okay.
No, if it's genetic, they don't send you to mental institutions. It's only if it doesn't run in the family.
Wait, I think we should start this over. We're not getting off to a good start.
No. I'm gonna
incriminating evidence has already been. It's not even a minute into it.
That's gonna be the video of the watch this. That's gonna be it right there. If it's genetic, they don't send it to mental.
You just put a square around my head. Stop trying to box me in, okay? I am outside the box.
So
instead of what's in the box,
so we are. Yeah, I got it.
It's funny.
Yeah, I got it. So we are in Davenport for the Christmases.
The port of Davern.
Yeah, which is tons of fun on its own. So hold on, I had to throw this out there. So when we were leaving Grandma's, right, we get to Division, and Dad and I went to turn on Division, and Dad went straight, past Division.
Why were you going to Division after leaving Grandma's?
Oh no, going to Grandma's. Sorry, leaving the church.
From church?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got to Division.
Why did you go to Division?
Because it's a straight shot. It's from the church. It's a straight shot.
If you turn.
No, if you turn out of church and go straight, you'll hit Division, and then you gotta turn here, and then it'll take you straight to Grandma's.
No, baby.
That's the point.
If you leave church and you turn right down Kimberly, go down Kimberly.
I totally forgot about Kimberly.
You turn left, and you can go down 46.
My bad. I totally forgot about Kimberly.
It's like 5 seconds.
Anyway, not the point.
That's why I got there way earlier.
Not the point.
Okay,
we went to Division, and I went to turn my blinker on to turn left, and Dad went straight, and I was like, and Cheryl's like, what? I was like, I'm pretty sure that way it takes you straight to Grandma's. And she's like, well, then why are you following him then? I was like, I don't know, I haven't been here in so long, I might be wrong.
Where did Dad go?
He went straight and all the way around. But anyway,
well, you are talking about Kimberly.
Going to Kimberly, and you're hitting Division, which will take you straight to Grandma's.
Well, Division is behind you.
Oh, either way.
Mm-hmm. So he went all the way up to Brady, and then came back
and then
down.
Came back, yeah.
That's dumb.
Yeah, and I called him. No, I called him. I was like, "Where are you going?"
Maybe he's like boycotting that street that they built when he tried to stop them from building it.
Maybe it's still a sore spot for him. He's like, fuck Division. I don't give a fuck.
I forgot to tell Chris to turn.
You forgot to what?
I forgot to tell Chris when to turn.
Oh, that's the ghost, by the way.
Yes.
That one. That's the ghost over there.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, are we talking to the ghost already?
You were just talking to the ghost.
Dang it, I forgot. My bad.
The ghost has anxiety and doesn't like to be on film. So,
ghost, be quiet. We haven't introduced you yet.
It's the next segment.
Okay, what do we do to do the seance for the ghost? We don't have any candles or anything.
We don't.
How's this work?
I don't know. It's not going to work, I guess.
Maybe we're possessed and the ghost just won't leave us alone. We don't have to do a seance.
So do you...
It's pretty true. She won't ever leave me alone.
Good luck with that.
I got Amanda's lighter.
Pepper spray.
Amanda left her lighter on the table at Grandma's house. I'm like, yeah, I'll take that.
So do you have anything you want to talk about? Any ideas?
How much I love you.
No.
You're so cute.
Not an option.
Cutie.
No.
I love you too. You are actually really much cuter than him. But I can't see you because you're a ghost, so... Yeah.
Ooh, good question. If you can see a ghost but nobody else can, is that like a ghost or is that just your imagination? Would you have to do tests? Like if they could lift things in front of other people?
They have drugs for that.
Not very good ones. You know how many people are in mental institutions?
Yeah.
Obviously not good enough ones.
That's true. They have really bad side effects too.
So how does it? Whoa! You had a major life event that happened.
What?
What happened since you've been back? What did you find out since you've been back?
Help me out here.
You were waiting for results on something.
Oh, I passed my semester.
Yeah.
Yay! I passed
That's a good-
another
why-
semester.
See, why do you?
It's
why,
like a
why do you gotta
4-month
do-
milestone.
Why do you
It's not
gotta
like I
do?
graduated.
Why you gotta do that? You're gonna be
Sorry.
like, whatever.
Major life
I just-
events are like,
I just
oh,
passed.
I
that's
got
fine.
engaged.
I
had another baby. All those things like just aren't happening. So
You're like,
You're having
oh,
another baby?
I just
Good,
passed.
because a ghost having a baby would be like,
Maybe that's how it happens.
baby.
Maybe it's just ghosts having ghosts having ghosts.
So the whole time you think they're your loved ones that have passed
It's
on.
not.
Really, it's just
It's
a
not.
ghost family.
Yeah.
Like, get the heck out of my environment.
So I did have a question, although I don't know how well the ghost is going to be able to answer this from over
Can you
there.
scooch over here just a little? Like, just put a toe in or
Did you
something?
and boy over there so that I have anxiety?
Yeah,
Well,
but you don't
get
have to
over
put
that
your
shit.
whole
Let's go.
self over there.
Anyway, what's the question?
My question that I was going to ask both of you is, and don't give a stupid answer, is how does
Stupid
it
answer.
feel being a parent? Because we're all parents.
I mean, I'm a pretty awesome parent, so
Okay.
my kids are amazing. And
Was there ever a time that was like difficult for you or like strenuous?
I mean, being a parent is always difficult.
I know, I just meant like, I wouldn't say different from other parents, but like, I don't know, something where you were like, this is really, really hard, or this is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
I mean, I lose my shit on a daily
Something
basis.
to
They're
that.
still alive, so
Hey,
must be doing something right.
okay, how old are your kids now?
Brown will be 9 in a week. Haley's 5 and Brooklyn's 4.
9, 5, and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Is it getting easier now that they're all in school, though?
At all?
No.
With any of them?
Second I pick them up, they constantly fight.
With you?
No, with each other.
Oh, it's getting a little. No.
You don't know why?
No.
Because one of the kids are in the other kid's spot, and the other kid won't move out of that kid's spot in the car, and then they just scream.
So you just have them have assigned seats in the car.
They don't-
Also, that's karma.
They don't like them.
Also, that's karma. Because you were the same way when you were there.
The spoiled rotten brat
Karma's
trait
right in the
gene.
smell.
It's like, remember all that time where you thought everybody was just being mean to you? Now you'll have kids. They'll do the same thing.
And I thought it was going to be easy when I seen Peanut as a baby.
I think Peanut fooled everyone.
He's a good baby.
You're welcome.
He was.
Sorry.
I mean, but then again, all my kids are good babies now.
I take credit for Zion from like baby to about 3.
I think all of you take credit for Peanut.
No, I do. Nope, just me.
Yeah. I believe I have more pictures with Kimberly.
That's fair.
I'm just saying,
Yeah, but he has more of my personality, so who really
Yeah.
affected it?
My name is Ghost.
Oh, Ghost.
Ghost.
Are you like Ghost in
I'm
the
pretty
Power? In the Power movies?
That's a good
Show?
call. But I'm pretty sure that name's already taken.
What show?
The Power movie. The
Power show series, HBO.
Yeah.
Lame.
Anyway, you
Get up. There's like many chapter books stuff, many different series that all correlate to this. Just
Do I
look
look
at
like somebody that would read?
It's okay. It's,
It's
really
not-
good. It's
Oh.
no. It's a
It's a
TV
chapter
show.
book.
It's a TV
It's
show.
a chapter books.
No, it's chapters for like a show. So like
Like the
each season
episodes.
is like a chapter.
Anyway,
You
I don't think there is any one particular time frame. Obviously, bad days. I don't think there's any one particular time frame where I have had a hard time being a parent.
have you
But-
had?
But I also don't think I'm like many parents either. Everybody tells me that I need to have Tiffany time and go out with friends, and like I'm just
That's because you grew
I
up.
really like hanging out with my kids. My kids are freaking hilarious and
That's
so much
because you
fun.
never had any friends.
Well, I had 4 younger siblings who were supposed to be my friends, and you guys went off and had your own friends, and I just don't get that. So,
I apologize. I apologize for
Whatever.
having my own
Well,
friends.
you're a traitor, and now Cheryl's your best friend, and I'm not, so.
she's not related.
Also, she earned it.
She's just a show.
that
Now
in
she's
there.
gonna see that and she's gonna get mad at you, and then she's not gonna be your best friend no more, and then I will be.
Doubtful.
Well, just don't show her your bracelet.
I know.
Okay?
I know.
It's gonna go on Facebook.
I want
And I'm
that.
gonna say my sister's better than yours.
I want that. I want that face. just the oh.
So there.
Is there anything as a parent? I know me and you have talked about this, but is there anything as a parent that you've done different that you feel is working, that you feel is better than not only how
Yeah,
you were?
because you need to show me your ways.
No, not how you were
okay, all
parented, but like,
all,
but
no,
like other
all
people.
seriousness, I really didn't know how, like, because you could teach your kid something today. Like, Brooklyn's 4, right? You could teach her something today and you want her to remember it as like a life lesson, but you don't know if she's going to remember it.
Yeah.
So maybe you need to teach it to her again at 6, and then again at 8, and then again at 10. You don't know. I mean, because if you look back on your own childhood, you don't know what memories are going to stick.
Yeah, I don't know shit.
Or where you
Well,
learned
that's because of all the drugs. But
Oh. Which is why she's a ghost.
which is
Yeah,
why
it's not very good drugs.
she said I thought they were good drugs.
Guys.
Damn it.
Damn it.
They told me they were
The
good.
drug dealer said if I paid an extra premium, they wouldn't take away my memory.
They said it was gonna work.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, but my philosophy overall, although sometimes I haven't done as great as I should have, but my philosophy was just try my best to be my best, be a good example, and hopefully they'll pick up on some of that. Obviously,
They'll figure out parts
it wasn't
of it.
helpful for you to tell my children some stuff that may or may not have happened when I was younger, but there's no proof, so I don't know why you would say and be a snitch.
I would like to point out I didn't.
Snitches get stitches.
Snitches get stitches, Zach.
You should tell your children that. Because
My
obviously
children.
they didn't get enough stitches.
But
See, I got stitches. Never snitched in my life.
Maybe that's why Brooklyn got stitches.
no, I think that's from a dog that needs to be murdered.
Because they got.
Wait, can we pan over to the ghost just once?
I can't. Okay, here.
No.
See, she'll run away.
She goes,
Anyway,
Mom said it was adorable. Okay.
So-
yeah, okay. Adorable people can murder people too. I'm just saying.
yeah, like not now, but like Ted Bundy.
Well, I mean,
Ted Bundy was a really good-looking dude.
Everybody liked him. I thought he was
Oh.
ugly as shit, but you know,
But at the time,
yeah,
I'm just
whatever.
saying, slow down.
Anyway, to get back to me.
Sorry.
Stay focused here.
Go ahead.
Not everything revolves around.
I think,
She's the only one on camera right now.
yeah, so you be quiet, little ghost.
Actually, you are.
Little ghost.
You are too. Little ghost.
Kimberly's new rapper name, Little Ghost. You could like ghost write for people. Little Ghost, ghost writing.
It's very punny.
I'm not a rapper though.
And that's why you ghost write.
Taylor Swift could do it. You can do it.
Anyway,
I showed
Now
somebody.
you're referring me to Taylor Swift.
I'm just
Are
saying.
you
I
a
showed somebody that video, by the way, of Taylor
Anyway.
Swift rapping. It's really funny.
Anyway. be a good example and actually
he
like your kids.
was a rapper before he was in the
I know,
country
I know.
for like 13 years.
I know.
Okay, are you listening? Are you listening? Be
Go ahead.
be a good example and actually enjoy your kids.
You don't tell me to do that.
Like
Yes.
her, like look, see, there's a Yancy.
See, this is the problem.
But this is, and then you give them the look. Do it now.
No,
This is the part. Enjoy your kids. Remember? That was like
Yeah.
the two.
Are you talking about the mom look?
Go.
You guys are supposed to be.
Anywho's.
Yeah, because the pretty girls walk like this.
That's why you guys are supposed to be upstairs because
Bye.
we're doing a video.
Bye.
Go run fast. See, Emma already knows she doesn't want her dad to beat her butt.
Okay.
You gotta threaten him
Do
somehow.
you beat butts?
No,
No, he doesn't beat butts.
not anymore.
Huh?
Not anymore.
Okay. Go up there and lay down.
Anyway,
No.
anyway, is there anything? I kind of know the answer for both of you on a small scale. Is there anything about your parenting, your version of parenting that you've had to defend? Because it's how you parent or how you feel is good parenting?
I think knowing the stuff that I went through and knowing like just in the world stuff that happens, I think I'm more overprotective, and some would call that a helicopter parent. And I don't think I'm like that in a sense, but I am gonna check your grades. I am gonna
just
know where you
overly
are.
aware.
I am gonna not let you stay over the night at other people's houses. You know,
Feel that?
your little friends can come over here, but
You
you're
know,
not gonna be out of my sight.
I haven't had to defend that part, but I have said that to people. Me and Cheryl have talked about that I know that that's weird for other people, especially other parents sometimes. But I feel way more secure with people staying over at my house than I do other people's houses.
Again, it
And I
comes
don't
down
think-
to enjoying your kids.
Well, I don't think it's a fear thing. I don't think it's like something could happen, but to an extent it is. I feel like of if they're in my house, it's controllable. I know that nothing's gonna happen. I don't know those people. Anybody on the planet could be like, yeah, we're good parents in front of you,
Right.
but like you don't really know.
Well,
Like I've
and the norm is not how we grew up. The norm is kind of let your kids do whatever as long as they're not in your face, because I want to watch some show or I want to go out to a bar if your kids are old enough to stay home, or I want to be on my phone, or whatever. I don't think it's not like I'm saying that's bad, but I think that is the norm these days.
Well, going back to your point about enjoying your kids, I like hanging out with my kids. There are times that like I would like to like watch a movie or like sit on my phone, whatever. But like I won't name any names, but there's a friend that one of the girls has that their mom has issues aside from that. But like something happened and she kicked her kid out of the house, right? So like she's been staying with us the last couple of days. But she hasn't like reached out or been like, hey, is my kid okay? Or like, hey, like I've been taking her to school every day with Emma and Alice and nothing. No, like, how did my kid get to school? No, like, does she have food?
Is she even going to school?
Yeah, I'm taking her to school.
No, I mean, question from the like, is she
Oh, yeah.
going to school?
Right.
Yeah, like nothing.
Like not checking up on them?
Yeah. And I was like, I told Cheryl, I was like, I don't get that. Like,
I don't either.
like, even if I was mad enough to be like, get out of my house, which I feel would never happen. But even if it was, and I knew like a day passed, I would be like, hey, where are you? Or like, hey, do you at least have something, like somewhere to stay or like something? But going to your point about that is that I feel like,
and it's been really cold up until the last couple days.
I feel like most parents are in that mode of like, I love my child, they're the best thing ever, until it's not on them anymore, and then they're like,
or
cool.
It's like, let's put on matching Christmas stuff and take this cute picture and cheese. Now get out of my face. And I think that's how a lot of people are, really.
Ghost, is there anything that you've had to defend?
Are you just dressing up your kids, taking cute pictures, and then saying, get out of your face?
Get out of my face.
Okay. Do you like playing with your kids?
No.
Do you like putting cutesy little bows in your kids' hair and pigtails? And I don't understand why you didn't have matching pigtails with your girls today. That is highly disappointing.
She really took that personal. She was like,
what do you mean? Why would I do that?
Anyway, is there like...
I mean, in my head, you are still kind of 5. Sorry.
I mean, is there anything like, I know that you've defended your parenting a lot, but like, is there anything that like you've been like, yeah, I'm
He's
talking to you.
to the
Sorry.
ghost. Yes.
Sorry. I figured I didn't have to look at you since you're invisible anyway.
Is
But
there anything that you do differently, parenting wise, than you
that
think?
you're like, I know this is the right move. Like, I know I should be doing this.
We're just winging it over here.
I agree much.
Figure it out. You're just winging it. Do you feel
They're
like
alive.
do you feel like it's working?
That's
How about that? How about that?
like she
That-
said, they're alive.
Well, that's a better idea. How about that?
50-50, I guess.
50-50, you think
Yeah.
it's working? Have
I
you,
can discipline as much as I want, I can spend as much as I want and nothing.
well, I've said this before. I think that that's something, I've said this before. I think that most parents, if they're trying, need to cut themselves a little bit aside.
Yeah, because if you look at it honestly, your kids, all three of your kids sat at the table with me and ate their food, and they all sat there right next to each other.
I was shocked.
They,
I didn't have to yell
If we
either.
would have went out somewhere, they would have all been on their own.
I didn't have to yell at any of your kids by their name 3 times in a row before you looked at me. So there's that.
Plus, guess I'm doing something right.
Do you feel like that's a difficult question to word. Do you think that your life is different? Obviously it's different that you have kids, but in a way of like holidays or like having friends or like having that me time if you need it or like things like that. Like it's more difficult or you kind of figured it out?
would you rather go out to bars, clubs, girls' nights on Fridays and Saturdays versus being at home with your kids?
Not necessarily.
Yes
once
or
in a
no?
while,
What you were
maybe.
saying?
I would
Once
well,
in a while, but like not like every weekend or. I mean, obviously, my kids are more important.
have you learned to prioritize was really what I was getting at. Like if you are overwhelmed and you need like that time to like even go into Walmart by yourself, like is it easy for you, is it easier now that your kids are a little older to be like, hey, I need like 30 minutes to run to the store for myself? Or is it still difficult?
You just ran to the store before you came here by yourself,
Yeah.
right? To get Chris something or whatever? Yeah.
Because I feel like,
With them and
and I can't
with a
speak,
little extra
I can't,
stuff on myself.
I can't speak for women because I'm not one, but I would
Are you sure?
assume,
Have you checked lately?
yeah,
Okay. That's good to know.
I would assume that it's a lot harder for women to prioritize that because you have that maternal,
It's not that. It's
like I want
society.
them to be okay.
Well, yeah, but it's
yeah.
not that because obviously Kimberly has a loving husband
Mhm.
who's amazing with their kids. So she has full trust that they're,
Sometimes.
hey, don't talk about my Kristoff. I will fight you.
Mhm.
But she has no, I don't
Reason
think
to
there's
worry.
any reason to worry.
Mhm.
They're in perfect hands. They're well taken care of. They're fine. I think society-wise
Pushes that.
pushes that a mom's whole world should be her kids.
Mhm.
And I don't think that's good. I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's healthy not only for the actual mom, but I don't think it's healthy for the kids either. I don't think it's healthy that a kid should be able to demand attention because they're your child.
Well, I think,
And then how do you grow up and then think that for me, my boys should think that their wives are
Mhm.
going to give their 100% full attention to their kids or themselves.
well, that's what I was gonna, and I've talked about this many times, but I feel like that is an unfair expectation society-wise for men in general, because I think it's unfair, and I understand the dynamic. I understand why the dynamic was set up, because
But
kids are supposed to look to their mom as a maternal figure, but
but back
I
in the
think-
day, women mostly only job was to raise children.
I think
You
it's
couldn't have a job. You couldn't like even if you did invent something, you couldn't really put it under your name. So what else is there? If you can't have a job, you can't be an artist, you can't be an inventor, you can't be a scientist, you can't all these things, even though women did it low key.
But it took
But
a long time for them to actually have
get credit for it. But if you can't, what else is there? Like the only thing you can be honored for is being a great mom. So you put your whole life into that.
Well, I'll get back to that point, but I think it's unfair on a father standpoint, because I think it's unfair that society-wise puts all that, well, the mom has to be the maternal, like, oh, baby, are you okay? Oh, let me make it better or whatever. And the guy has to be the disciplinarian. I think that's unfair that a child is expected to grow up and only fear his father. Like, that's the expectation, is that they're supposed to teach them how to play sports and they're supposed to be the disciplinarian, and that's how their kids should always, like,
So
girl or boy.
So you don't
it
really
should
get to have
always-
that loving relationship with
Yeah.
your child because
Yeah.
you are the enforcer.
Yep. And
And you
it's
can't
hard.
be loving if you're the one that has to be the enforcer.
Yes. But going back to your point about that,
The ghost point or mine?
no, yours.
Oh, okay.
But going back to your point about the women thing, I think that also, even now in society, is also has to be like a cliff note. Like, women in general can't get recognition the same
We've had that discussion.
without the tag of like, oh, she's a great mother too, or oh, she does this too. Like, it can't be like,
We've had
this woman is the best scientist on the planet, but also she's a good mother. Like, that's more credit than that. Or if they do that and they don't have kids, then it's like, yeah, she's like the best scientist. She's a Nobel Prize winner, but like,
But she had to give up being a mom.
but she had, yeah,
to accomplish that.
yeah. Whereas if a guy did that,
You don't
nobody
have to
would
give
even,
up
yeah,
anything.
nobody would even think about that. Nobody would even be
We've
like,
had this conversation about myself. It's like, I went to college, I worked in a biology lab, I became a nurse, I got my master's in nursing, I delivered babies, I am in med school. Yeah, but who are you dating? Nobody, and why does it matter?
Can we talk about this boy that you've been talking to?
No,
But
not
why?
even a
Can
little
we
bit.
talk about the fact that I was that was
or the
rhetorical.
over exaggerating. Like, I met a guy yesterday and I went on a date with him to meet him, like an actual sit down, had dinner date. And now you're obsessed with, oh my gosh, so what's his name? So like, I don't even know if he's worth mentioning yet. Why are we not having this conversation
Can
at
we
all?
talk about the fact
In
that
any
I just
way.
passed my semester? But that's what I was talking
I mean,
about.
yeah, but that was like, yeah.
No, but that's what I'm talking about. Like, and it's not just, obviously me and you have had this conversation, but it's
Or
not
the
just,
assumption that when you go on dates, you automatically sleep with guys. That's gross.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
Sidebar.
I'm sorry.
Sidebar. I'm just saying.
Sorry, I set that precedent.
Not all of them. Just once a day.
But like, it's not even that excessive, okay? Jeez. They pay.
Wait, how much do they
Oh, hold
pay?
on,
I
hold
need
on.
to contact
No,
different people.
no,
Hold
back
on.
up.
What?
No, back up. Me too. Back up. So I gotta say this though, because it's really funny. I was gonna tell you when we got to grandma's, but I figured it wasn't the best time. So I can't remember what me and Cheryl were talking about on the way here. We were talking about how we don't have a whole
Silence
lot.
your phone.
We don't have a whole lot of. Yeah, can the ghost be silent, please? If you're not gonna be seen.
Oh, okay, he's important.
But like, well, I can't remember what we were talking about. We were talking about how we were low on money or whatever. I just made a joke. I was like, I guess it's time for me
Is
to
that
start
when you
the
throw all
only-
the $100 bills on the floor?
I was like,
What? I'm not understanding.
I was like, I'm gonna start an OnlyFans. Then I guess that's the only option we're at.
Hey,
And
those pictures you took.
she was like, no, go ahead. I was like, but see, the problem is advertising. Like, how am I going to do that? She's like, get a sticker and put it on the back of the truck. She's like, we drive from Kakana to Denmark. I was like, yeah, but see, the problem is dropping the girls off to school.
Hey, maybe some of those moms, single moms, running rampant.
Don't mind my truck. Talk to your teachers about that.
Hey, some of those single moms might be clicking that
Oh, there was
page.
I did talk about this on the last podcast though, but I didn't talk to you about this. So there was a story, which I have my own opinions on this, but there's a story.
Zach's hooking up with single moms. This is what I heard. What?
No.
Oh.
How does Cheryl feel about
Teachers. Anyway.
And their teachers?
Teachers are just backtracking from
Hey,
high school.
You got to get A's somehow.
I'm old enough now.
Take one for this.
It's fine. I'm doing it so the kids don't have to.
Exactly.
Saving
See?
lives. I'm
Betterment of the community.
I'm saving lives and jail time. Anyway.
And teachers' jobs.
See?
Zach Hines and teachers.
I should get it.
Yes.
But I should definitely for it.
I should definitely get a Nobel Prize for that. I'm just saying.
They're getting money for it.
Hey,
He's
we're not
working
gonna-
on that
We're not going
part,
to talk.
okay?
We're not going to talk about
We're
that.
working on that part.
Anyway,
I mean,
but I was. There's a point.
Oh,
So-
sorry.
So I was reading an article about this teacher that one of her students found her OnlyFans when they were off for COVID or whatever. She started an OnlyFans, and then when she got back to school, one of her students found her OnlyFans account, and one of the parents told the school, and they fired her or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking about this with Cheryl. On
Don't
one
you
of
have to
the
be over
podcasts.
18 to be on
That's
there?
what she said. She's like, I don't advertise it to on any of my social media. She's like, and you have to be 18 to have it. So if the 18-year-olds find it, that's out of my control. And she's like, plus they're of age, and that's not my fault. But my point to that is, if you have teachers get paid shit, so if you pay them shitty, and then you take away the fact that they can't go to work, what do you expect to happen? And then they come back, and she wasn't a bad teacher.
And
What?
Yes.
Chris just got woken up by yelling and something upstairs, and now he can't go back to bed. He said.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
Tell
you.
them if I have to, it's going to be bad.
Thank you, Ghost. Also, tell Emma that she can go back in the room.
Oh no, I really can't.
Give me a hug.
Just so
I
they
just
can
need a hug.
just so they can see who the
I
ghost
just
is.
need a hug. She does exist.
Camera shot.
I have to prove I'm not insane.
I thought it would have been funny if we would have got through the whole thing without her ever reading it. But anyway, my point is, she did that during COVID when she didn't have a job pretty much. And then she came back, she has a job, she's been doing great.
It was parenting though.
No, I'm getting back to that.
Oh, okay.
But then she got fired, and it's like she shut it down when she got her job back at the school. So she hasn't done anything on it since she got her job back, but they still fired her. And I think that's unfair.
I think it was
In the room, in her room.
in her room.
Anyway,
I concur.
yeah. So back to parenting now.
Yeah.
So
I'm a pretty good parent. I'm just saying.
So looking at obviously us being around all of our family.
Pause that. Okay. So with that, do you I
Wait,
feel-
with the teacher thing? Or
No,
with
no,
parenting?
no. With the parenting thing. So I hear a lot of parents say stuff like, my kid, I have no idea something.
Mhm.
And my kids are not anywhere close to perfect, obviously. But they're not horrible either. But still, I know where everything comes from. I know where, like, oh, their personality is like this. Okay, yeah, because pieces of my personality are like this. Like, I can draw every single thing about my kids back to a piece of me.
Well, that's
And I don't get people that are like,
Well, that's kind of how I feel. Even like difficulties we've had with both the girls now, even like things that they've done or whatever. I've never been like, I don't understand why that happened.
right.
Like even, and I won't go into details about what happened, but even, all the stuff that happened with Emma before she went to Nevada, I still understood why it happened.
Right.
I was like, oh yeah, A went to B, I get it. And
I don't get people that are completely oblivious.
that are so like,
and not just
I don't
that.
understand how that happened.
And not just that, but like, have no want to fix it either. Like, or the people that blame everything on the other parent. Okay, cool. So I'm a mom, so I'm gonna talk from a mom. So my kids potentially have the worst dad in the world. Okay, but I'm still their mom. So it's still my job to A, get them away from that, or B, get them some sort of resources to help with it, or both. I'm really, but
I was just making sure my mic was still on. Yeah, you're just still on.
my boob's still on.
Boobs still on. My boobs
I just don't.
My boobs are still turned on.
If you're separated or whatever, you're not together. I think it's a cop out to say
Oh, they just get that from
they
the
get
other
that
parent.
from that their dad, and that they're just like their dad.
I
Well,
agree.
for one, like, okay, yeah, maybe that's true, but then you're reinforcing whatever bad, and then you get to be like, oh, well, I'm a crackhead because my dad was a crackhead.
I'll make your point.
No crackheads are specifically spoken about in this video.
No crackheads were harmed in the making.
No, I was going along those lines.
But no, I'll make your point though, is that there's a lot of things, and I don't know how people are going to take this, but I'm going to say it anyway because why not? But there are a lot of things that both the girls get from Cheryl and get from Jake, both of them. But also, because they're getting older, I also see a lot of influence that I have on them. Like, and not just, it's not pushed influence. It's just things.
It's just you've lived with it, because how old were the girls?
Emma was 7, Alice was 5.
Okay, so
most of
7.
most
so
of their
half
life.
of Emma's life
Yep.
and more than half of Alice's.
More than half of Alice's, yeah.
So I just
But like, but that was
I made the same exact
but that was
statement.
but that was my point though, is that you can't use that as a cop out because you still have the ability
And
to
you can't live with
influence
somebody, genetic or not, and not pick up on some of their
things.
stuff,
Mhm.
whatever it is.
But I think that being a cop out of like, well, they just get that from their mom or dad or
That's
whatever.
laziness.
Well, yeah, because you still have the ability to influence them, especially if they're still at a young age. Like if they're 10 or younger, you still have time to correct.
Even
if
older
needed.
than that, because
But
really,
I would say probably 15. Like your influence overall is pretty much done.
maybe.
But before that, they're still figuring out. Like I say this all the time. This is my biggest pet peeve with teachers in general when they hit middle school or their freshman year of high school, and every teacher goes, "Well, their attitude has just changed. They just
I
shit."
think people are just lazy, and it's
I
easier
agree.
to blame somebody else. It's easier to say, "Oh, kids these days." Oh, social media. Oh, teachers. Oh, whatever else you can blame. And it really doesn't matter the reason at all. It does not matter what the reason is. It is your responsibility as a parent to at least try to correct it. And there's so many freaking resources these days to correct it. There's so many, there's so much knowledge.
Well, I've said this. I think my biggest thing, and I know you've done it, but one of the biggest thing that I defend my parenting with is that we are super honest with the girls about how the world works. And most people would be like, they don't need to know that, or they don't need to get that. Just let them be children, or what the fuck ever. But like, yes, to a point, I believe that. But also, like, and I think it hit me. I know Cheryl's been doing it since before I met her, but I think it hit me more because I have girls. But like, I know how the world works for girls, like how men are, because men are gross. And like, my biggest fear wasn't that they were going to figure out how the world works. My biggest fear was that they were going to get in a situation, something was going to happen, and they were going to be like, why didn't you tell me that this could happen? And I never wanted them to be in a situation where they were like, I never knew that this was going to happen. So yes, to a point, they probably know things a lot earlier than most children do. But also, they're never going to be in a situation where they're not going to understand. And they're not going to, like, kind of personal, but there's I never wanted a situation of them to be at like a party or like with a guy or whatever, and them pressure them to have sex, and because they don't have the wherewithal and because society tells them this is just what you do, that they do that when they really don't want to. And then they figure out that they really don't want to, or that it didn't feel right to be in that situation, and they go, I didn't know that I could say no, or I didn't know that I could tell somebody about it, or whatever. Like, I never wanted that to be a thing. So they know how the world works. They know that guys are gross. They know that if a situation comes up, they know the channels
They
to
also know that guys
correct
are
it.
great.
Yes, which is the opposite of that, or which is the other half of that, is that also, I mean, I talk myself up, but like, I don't try.
Kind of a great guy.
No, but I don't try to be that guy, but also, like, I think, and Cheryl said this, I think having somebody like me who is different than most guys is like, oh, okay.
No,
And the
I
fact
want
that
to
me,
change that narrative.
and the fact
I
that
want
me
to
and
change the
Cheryl,
narrative, purposefully, true or not, change the narrative to most guys are like you. And the guys that are available, and the guys that are aggressive, and the guys that are trying to date you are not the majority.
I would like to believe that I'm the only one, because that just makes me feel better.
Well,
No, but I know,
you
no, but I
have
know that's not,
girls
no,
that
but I know
can't
that's not
make you
true.
feel-
No,
I'm still
I was,
single, damn it.
that was, that was a joke. No, I know that that's not
It's
true.
not a funny joke.
Sorry, I know that that's not true. But I agree. I went to school with a lot of
But I
good
think
guys.
that's how women get manipulated.
It's because they're told that
They're
good guys
told-
don't
They're
exist.
told that all men cheat. They're told that good guys don't exist. They're told that good guys are boring. They're told all these things.
That was my problem. You know what the biggest thing that frustrated me in high school? I wish I could find a guy like you. Motherfucker, I'm single.
I'm right here.
Right here.
Right here.
Anyways,
You're not the ghost in this video.
sorry. That was like my biggest frustration in high
But then you
school.
also, okay, so there's that. So then you almost brainwash women into staying in bad relationships, because if all guys cheat, at least I'll stick with the one I know.
Or
At
that's
least-
only cheated twice.
That's only cheated twice.
Yeah.
At least he loves me. At least he pays bills.
Mhm.
At least he takes care of my kids. Well, if all guys cheat, then. But it also works in reverse too, where I've heard guys say, "Well, women don't like good men." I don't think that's true either.
Mhm.
There's a certain amount of truth depending on how you define good men. I don't think many women want, I think you need a certain level of protectiveness.
Testosterone.
Yes. I do think you need a certain level, because depending on the woman, everybody's different, all that type of stuff. But you don't want to be taking care of a child if that's your
And
man.
I think
But
that's
the cop out of guys saying women don't like good men is 100% false.
Mhm.
You're saying that because those women didn't tell you the real reason why they didn't want to be with you. They probably gave you some reason of, I'm just not ready,
Mhm.
or I wish there were a good guy, whatever you just said.
I wish I could find a guy
I
like
wish
you.
I could find a guy like you. Okay, but in reality, they're saying there's something about you I don't like.
Mhm.
And maybe that's you portraying that you're such a great man. Who wants to be with somebody that thinks they're perfect?
I was just gonna
because
do-
then I have to be perfect.
Well, I was just going to say that. There's a difference. Me and Cheryl talked about this. There's a difference between, and I know because I've been on both sides. I've done it, I've seen it, and I've been who I am. There's a difference between genuinely being a good guy, just in everything that you are, just like effortlessly, the things that you do. And there's the other side of that, of guys that know that most women want a good guy, so they try to emulate. Good word, because that's not the word I was thinking of. They tried to emulate being a good guy. And then when things actually come out that you're not genuinely about yourself, like
Do
wholeheartedly
we
that
want to go
way.
into a specific situation
You can go into a
that I
specific
called
situation,
you about?
but I wasn't going to.
So,
That's your situation.
somewhat dating, very loose term. Man is,
Prospecting?
yeah, maybe bored. Not overwhelmed with studying in school and kids right now, so I have a little bit of free time. So, man, 35, one daughter, very great dad. I supposedly, not proven, but I think retired military, so lifelong pension, medical, all the stuff that comes with that. So has free time, seems respectful, no criminal record, home, car, doesn't live with their mom, doesn't have a wife, doesn't have a girlfriend, supposedly. Meet this guy, well, message this guy, whatever, and then meet in person. Okay, we get to know each other, seem like a good guy on paper. You check all the not crazy boxes, all the don't have a wife boxes. Pretty important to me, not to everybody. It's just important to me. So then,
I'm the weirdo.
hey, do you, boo boo? So then you go on so this is just like grab coffee and
I don't
see.
know why everybody's so upset about this other family thing. It doesn't bother me.
I need my free time too, okay? So you meet up, get a coffee or whatever, and you get the basics out of the way. Are you catfishing me? Is this a real person?
It's a good first date question.
He said that though, that's weird enough. Is this a decent person? Can I talk to you? All those things, right? And then you do like an actual date. Like I do this often, but this is what happened. Then you do an actual date and you have like lunch. And okay, yeah, you seem like, but it just seemed like something's off. And this guy says, if you're dating, we'll say if you're dating black men and the percentage of black men that are incarcerated, this is coming from a black man, the percentage of black men that are incarcerated, have baby mama drama, don't have jobs, have criminal records, are abusive, are narcissistic, is very small. And if you see somebody that's a decent person, why wouldn't you just grab them up? That is the biggest red flag for me. And I don't know what is going on in your life, but the fact that you want me to grab you up after
That's bitterness. That's what that is.
That's what it, yeah.
That's bitterness.
After I met you online on one day, I got coffee the next day, and this is the third day.
Mhm.
And I'm going to shut down social media and just focus on you and our future. And I've accomplished all these things. And I just,
Aren't I awesome?
and he's the one that said, well, good girls, there's not that many good men out there. So basically, grab me up while you have the chance. Yeah, buddy, yes, you seem like a good man, but you are not the only good man. And if there is 200,000 people in our area, even if 1% of those are good, and say 0.5% are
Pretty
single,
good odds. Pretty good odds.
that's still, what,
Like 50 something.
1,000 people?
Yeah.
1%? 0.5%? Something like that?
0.5%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, since I'm freaking awesome, I would
Pretty
be at
good
the
odds.
top of tier of those available people.
I think I will go back to your point about
I think it's manipulative, is what I'm saying.
I think both ways. I think it's manipulative both ways. I think that it's an excuse that guys give to girls. Just like that situation of, I can tell that you're semi not interested in whatever way in my head, even if it's made up in my head, that you're not going to pick me. So I'm going to throw this out there that I'm the only good guy available, so that kind of like your last effort of
grab me while you can.
yeah, well, she'll be like, oh shit, he's right. Like, I've dated a whole lot of shitty people.
Right.
He's right. But the opposite, I think girls use that as an excuse for
to
them,
not tell you really why I don't like you.
or for them not to make an effort either.
Okay.
Because it's got to be both ways. You can't, yes, I personally feel like if you're going to get in a relationship with somebody, I'm not talking about dating, but if you're going to get in a relationship with somebody, you should accept them for who they are. Not that they can't grow, not that you can't grow, but you shouldn't go into a relationship expecting that this person is going to change into something that you can accept. However, you also have to put in the effort. And I feel like some women use that, well, there's no good guys out of there because they didn't make the effort.
Right.
Because it didn't work out for them because they expected massage my feet, bring me grapes, whatever.
What's wrong with that?
And
I
and
like
that's
plain
not
grapes
and
in
that's
particular.
not and that's not the guy that they got.
We need to go to JJ's before we leave.
I'm going to Casey's in the morning.
So said human being, I felt like if this man honestly believes that women don't like good guys,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be that next woman that also doesn't like good guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I told him. He also was talking above me. Like, I've been where you are. I have already lived my life and retired. So I know I'm just here to support you because I've done what you're trying to do now. And
So condescending.
I'm just like, I've lived a full life too. I've done everything you've done. I'm just trying to do more. Right. And so the more I talked to him, the more these like little things kept slipping out. So then he said something about, well, I know what it takes to, what was it? It was something about caring for people. Well, you're trying to be a nurse, so you're going to have to do this. So you're not listening to me at all. And
You're going off of stereotypes.
And no, I explained the whole thing to him, you know. So when I said to him was, I do think on paper you're a good guy, and I do think you are good inside, but you do have some tendencies that are very manipulative and controlling. And I've worked very hard on my intuition over the last 2 years, which is why I've been single. And you showed me that you weren't listening because you said I'm trying to be a nurse, but I am already a nurse. And I am trying to go above that. There was like 3 different very specific things. I was in the middle of explaining something and you said, "Oh, you're so gorgeous." Which, I mean, I am, but that's not what I was talking
That's
about.
not listening.
That's not listening. That's trying to shut me up. And I said, at the end, I feel like you have not been able to fill the wife role, and your life in your head is not complete without the wife role being filled. And I am a somewhat on paper qualified candidate, and you want to put me in that role. But it has nothing to do with me as a person. It has to do with me as a couple check boxes that I happen to have. But you don't know anything about me as a person. You know the bare minimum that you require for the person that you want to fill that role. And I said, I'm trying to say this in the most respectful way because I don't think it's fair to you that women are telling you that that you believe that women just don't like good guys. And his text reply was super long, and I was this, and I'm taught to read people, and I don't accept your whatever he said. But then
Don't accept your remarks.
whatever he said. And then the last part was, and don't assume I haven't been where you are, because I was a RN from 2000 something to something, and sent me a picture of him with his RN badge. And I'm like, you just completely proved my point because you have no idea what I was talking about. I am not trying to be a nurse.
Oh, I can go. I won't.
Like what?
But I can go into that too. I think that's unfair. That is an overall career path for all women, and that is only accepted.
Well,
but I'm not going to. Or we are not going to go down that road.
Also, the question of I'm a nurse, and so like, what kind of nurse? Like a CNA or and we're gonna leave it at that.
Anyway, I I do think that it would be beneficial because I know that there are. I joke and I like to say that I would like to think that I'm the only good guy because that makes me feel better. But I know that there are a lot of good guys. Your brother and your brother-in-law are two of them. That there are good guys out there.
I think Anthony is too.
I
I don't
agree.
know him as well
I
as
agree.
everybody else, but
I think
yeah, all my siblings are happily married and I'm not. Available, awesome.
think-
Hello. Can
no,
we do an
but
advertisement?
I think the thing, like I kind of touched on, I think, as at least from a guy's perspective, I think that the reason why most good guys get discouraged, and I'm not saying that that guy is one of them because it sounds narcissistic as shit, but I think that why
Ex-military, so retired military.
I get, but I think why most good guys get discouraged is because, like I said, and I'm not putting this on women, but I think that this is an overall thing, is that good guys, for the most part, what makes them good guys is that they're giving people, that they're giving guys. So they are willing to watch the kids for hours so you can go do something. They're willing to cook you food. They're willing to bear the weight of the financial load. They're willing to do all these things. And then some women
So then it has to be the
take
responsibility of the good guy
take
to
advantage
seek
of that.
the good woman.
I agree. I think that, but that's what I'm saying. I think that that's where
Instead
good
of,
men
oh,
get,
she's pretty, why doesn't she like me?
But I
Because
think
she
that-
wants to be a hoe
but
and she wants you to watch her kids while she's in the club every night.
But that's what I'm saying. That's where I feel like good guys get discouraged, is because they don't go after the right women for them. Like, I got really lucky with Cheryl,
You did. She's my best friend.
but most guys don't do that. Most guys get the normal girls that take advantage of them. So you get 3-4 relationships in of that being the case, and they get discouraged of like, oh, well, I guess I'll just accept whoever because these didn't work out, and obviously it's a me thing.
Yeah.
And they don't look for
But
that
in a way, it is a
person
you
for
thing.
them.
You know what I mean? If
I
you're,
think you should be upfront about it.
but no, in
honestly
a way,
do.
it is a you thing if you're always going after these same type of women.
I want to go back to a small point before about the testosterone thing. So this is just a side point for me. I think that there is a point where every guy should have some sort of protective something instinct. And it doesn't sound right, not mainly protective, but like some sort of quote manly instinct where you don't have to be that person that
You don't have to bear the weight of the world all the time.
you don't have to be that person knocking people out, picking fights in the
No.
bar all the time.
No.
To be manly.
I don't think
You
that's
have
actually
to-
manly at all. I think that's severely insecure.
I agree. But the idea of
Mhm.
manliness, like you don't have to go hunt, you don't have to go fish, you don't have to do all these things that are quote manly.
No, but
You
you
just have
should
to
be able
have
to know that your wife is overwhelmed
Yes.
and she needs tacos.
Yes. I think
So
that
instead of saying, what's wrong, blah, 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 just go order her tacos.
I think that is equally manly. I think that is equally as important. I think it is overlooked at that aspect. Like, and it's even something simple. It's even something as simple as like your wife or girlfriend or whatever can't tell you what she wants to eat. So instead of sitting there asking her 7 times what she wants to eat, just being like, hey, I got you tacos. Or
Because
hey, I got you this. Or go get it and bring it back and be like, hey, I got this. Or like,
unless you just started dating, you should know generally what she wants to eat.
I think I wouldn't, there is, and me and you have talked about this, there's a stigma of what masculinity is and what manliness is that I feel like is over publicized, is over, I don't know the word I want to use, wanted. And it's not necessarily, I think that there are a lot of good traits in that. I think that there's a lot of good traits in like knowing how to hunt, knowing how to fish, like having that protective instinct as like,
You know how to order food.
no, having like that
I don't even like
protective,
fish.
having like that protective instinct or whatever. I think that those are important things to have like on the back burner, but I don't think that that is the full scope of masculinity or manliness. I think being able to have a conversation with your wife, calm and honest, and not scream and yell at each other and have an honest conversation, that's more of a manly thing to do than fighting with your wife all the time. I think that learning how to be a disciplinarian to your kids without, and I'm not the best at it, without screaming at them, spanking them, having a violent reaction to doing bad is more manly than being the person that.
I think kids will
You know what I
test
mean?
you. Kids will test you. Full circle parenting.
Mm.
Kids will test you because they're kids, but I think they're more likely to listen to you, whether now or in the future, if they respect you.
Mhm.
If you are a respectable individual in your kids' eyes.
I think relationship wise, and people can argue with me because they already have. I've had arguments with people about it, but from a man's perspective, I think relationship wise, I think men need to get out of that. This is my role as a guy in the relationship and start figuring out how to be in a relationship with that person. Because it's not, and I hate, and this is just me personally, I hate the stigma of men in relationships of like, I go to work, I come home, I drink beer, and I go to bed. And that's my job as a
Beer's
man.
gross.
Whatever. I agree. But that's my job as the man in the relationship. And it's the woman's job to cook and clean and take care of the kids. And that has nothing to do with me because that's her job. I think that's dumb. I think as a society, but especially as men, need to get over that and get over that thought process and just do what. I'm sorry, it does not take that much to do dishes, and I'm not the best at it. You can ask my wife, I'm not. It does not take that much to sweep up the fucking kitchen. It does not take that much to cook one dinner a fucking week. It does not.
It takes more energy to complain about something not being done than to just get up off your booty.
And I'm going to tell you right now, not for the satisfaction of like selfishness, but I'm going to tell you right now, as a man, as the man in the relationship, I challenge every guy to do that one time and see how happy that makes your girlfriend or wife. Like I'm telling you, like, and it's small things, it's little things that is no consequence to you. It does not take it does not take a whole lot out of your day to do
Even
it.
a sink full of dishes, what, 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah. And if you have a dishwasher, how hard is it to put fucking shit in the dishwasher and start it?
Yeah, that's.
And again, I'm not the best. I'm really not. I promised Cheryl when we first got together that those are my two things that I would have no problem doing, and I've been really shitty at it. But I will tell you from experience, it also does not take a whole lot of effort to do it either. But like this whole thing of like, I think we as a society have grown so much that the fact that there are still people that are stuck in this dynamic of women should do this, men should do this,
but
is just
that's on them.
so dumb.
That's on them though.
I agree.
You're only in your relationship.
I agree.
So if other people have relationships where the man sits at the dinner table and expects his wife to serve him every night, then that's their relationship.
But also the same thing for parenting though, and I'll stop at this because I didn't want to go longer than an hour. But my same thing with parenting though is that it all has to work for you. And that's kind of what I was getting at with you and with the ghost, is that people can say, well, I would have done this different, or when I was raising these children, I would have done this, or I was doing this, or whatever. And it doesn't matter what other people or even society says you should parent. It's whatever works for you. If I think that telling my children ahead of time how the world works is a better parenting thing, then I don't know. We'll see. I may be wrong, but we'll see how it works, and that's my parenting choice.
Do you think you're in tune with your kids?
Yes, very much so.
So if my kids are very high strung, it's probably because I am very high strung. None of my 3 kids have ever woken up at 6 o'clock in the morning ready to destroy the house and eat and whatever. I'm not a morning person. I never in my life have been. My kids go to sleep late. If we don't have school, my kids stay up all night. My kids wake up late. I mean, in a perfect situation where they didn't have to go to school and I don't have to go to work, me and Jordan stay up until sometimes the sun comes up and sleep until noon. But we are in, like, me and my kids have always been in sync. There's not one of my kids that is overly anxious because I'm not. There's not one of my kids that's overly.
I never really understood that. Like, I had that intuition with the girls for the most part. Like I said, I understood why they did the things that they did. I understood why they were like anxious or like in a bad mood or something happened or why they like.
But it's situational.
All of a sudden popped off about this one little thing or whatever. Like, I've always understood that. Having Wyatt made me understand energy, like really, like a lot. Because everybody says that. Everybody's like, babies can feel your energy and whatever. That is 100%.
It's not just babies either.
What I know, that's 100% true. And it didn't click in my head, and I didn't really understand it until he was born. Because, like, even Cheryl was really overwhelmed when she first had Wyatt. And so she couldn't get him to go to sleep. And she was really overwhelmed and, like, got really, like, anxiety and very much, like, aggressive and, like, she's just really upset about it. So I learned to put him to sleep, which is why it's really easy for me to put him to sleep now, because I did it his whole childhood. But even in that, learning that was where that came from, is that if I was upset with the fact that I got woken up by Cheryl being overwhelmed, and it automatically made me overwhelmed, putting him to sleep was 10 times harder because he would feel that and he would, like, it wouldn't work. And so I learned to feed my energy, to check my energy. And it's worked with all of them. Like, even the other day, something happened with the girls. They had an attitude, which rightfully so. They were upset. We took a day. We asked them to watch Wyatt. We took a day to go get Christmas presents, get all that done. They were upset because we took longer. They were watching Wyatt. Wyatt was not being very nice. And so they made some
Wyatt beat him up, tied him up, and put him in the closet.
They made some comments that were not nice that we heard over the camera that's in Wyatt's room. And so me and Cheryl were both really upset. And Cheryl went in there hot, like went in there and was like, what the fuck? Like, are you kidding me like that? And Emma checked her, because although Emma's combative when you come at her like that, she also recognized that she was putting, like, they were arguing for like 2 minutes, like screaming. And then Emma was the one that was like, I'm sorry, it was just a misunderstanding. And that immediately, like,
but at 14,
Cheryl,
to be able to.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, she gets it, and the fact that, and we have, the both of us, like me and Cheryl, have learned over the years to kind of be the same. That was a special circumstance, but for the most part, be that way to them. Like, even if they're being upset, and even if they're being like up here, like trying to stay here to bring the level down so we can talk at it, because energy goes for everybody. If I come at, I tell the girls this all the time, because they're like, I don't understand why they're being so mean to me, why she's being so mean to me. And I tell them this all the time. If you come at them at this level, they're going to meet you at that level. If you were to come into somebody's room and be like, get the fuck up, like, they're not going to be like, thanks for waking me up. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm trying really hard to work on maintaining my own level and forcing people to come down to me and not going up.
I think that's the best part about me and Cheryl's communication. Not to say that we're the best ever, because we're not, but that's the best part about me and Cheryl's communication, is that even when we've gotten upset at each other and like had attitudes or like slight disagreement, arguments, we've always come to a place when we actually do like confront each other, come to a place down here of like, hey, you made me really upset. And it's not can you fucking stop? Like, it's not
Yeah.
that. It's like, you made me really upset. And it brings that level down to the point where you don't feel combative. And it's a lot easier to communicate in that area.
It's not accusing either. You're
Mhm.
saying you made me feel upset.
Mhm.
You're not saying you attacked me, you whatever.
One of the biggest things that's frustrated me, and I've heard it not only from my past relationships but other people's relationships too. In that regard, one of the biggest things that frustrates me is I can't make you feel anything. Is that as a response? And although that statement is true, the use of that statement is manipulative. It's taking the blame off of yourself and being like, no, you're the one that just got upset about everything because I can't make you be upset.
Which the counteract to that is I am who I am.
I hate that one too.
I do, because nobody should be am who I am.
Mhm.
Yeah, today you are who you are, but in 20 years you better be somebody different, because everybody should be improving at all times.
There's always room for improvement. It's all about progression. You should be okay. That's one of the things that Cheryl has said to people. In a relationship, you should be okay with the other person growing. There are a lot of relationships where people be like, well, you're not the same person that I fell in love with.
That's
or
a
you're
reflection
not, or
of
you're not the person that I knew. Okay.
that's a reflection of you grew and I didn't,
Mhm.
and I'm now feeling insecure because I didn't grow with you.
Mhm.
So then you need to work on yourself and grow.
And also, why is it so bad why is it so bad to accept that person that they grew? Like, I would be excited that they, like, if I was in a relationship with you and you were one way, this is a really bad example because this is an extreme, but if you were the type of girl that were going out to the club all the time, that were always beating other girls up, that whatever, and you turned but you were a lot of fun when you were that way. But then you turn into somebody who wants to stay home with their kids, wants to stay home with their kids,
and now you have to be a mom
career,
because you're responsible for other human beings.
has a career, doesn't like really going out, has like maybe an hour to 2 hours to actually spend genuine time with you, and you go, man, you're not the person I fell in love with. Well, no shit.
Right. You knocked me up.
No, for real.
Yeah.
It should be thank you. Thank you for growing. Like it shouldn't be a negative. It should be you're not the person I fell in love with.
Yeah.
Like, you're so much better than you were before.
Because it could go the other way.
It
could be
definitely
worse.
go the other way.
It could be like I was a great woman and then now I want to do whatever. OnlyFans. Hey, no shade on OnlyFans. Get your money, boo.
Now I'm a ghost who doesn't want to talk on camera. Anyway.
Is it because she's on OnlyFans? She doesn't want anybody to recognize her.
Whatever.
Yeah.
She should have more money if that's the case.
Maybe she does.
Anyway.
She just doesn't want anybody to know about it.
I appreciate you talking.
I depreciate you.
I'll probably do one tomorrow too. See who actually wants to do one. I don't know what
Can we bring maracas? I feel like cha-cha-cha.
You're gonna have to think of another topic.
I think we strayed.
We did stray, but it was still good. It was good. We did stray. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a good idea?
What?
I never really asked you. You think I'm good at this?
I think I'm cute and you're cute, so I mean.
Do you think this is a good idea?
Can we turn it into a dating page?
A dating page?
Tiffany, come on down. I really only have like 3 weeks to even care, so.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna go to bed now.
Why?
Cause I want to go to bed.
Why? It's only midnight.
Yeah. We got breakfast. We got breakfast to get at.
What's the song? Drinking after midnight? What are we doing after midnight? Living after midnight. There you go.
Rocking to the dawn. Van Halen. Anyway.
Okay, subjects for next podcast. Thoughts and lyrics, constantly, at all times.
Yeah. Yeah, not always the best ones, because I had, what's it called? What was the, Out of the Box. I had the Out of the Box theme song stuck in my head the other day.
We were leaving grandma's and Jameer popped up with, I have a song for you. Going on a trip with your favorite rocket ship. how long ago have you even seen that show? Like, yes,
It's good stuff.
sing the whole thing. Okay, so, and then I thought it would be fun for me, you, and Dad to do trips down here and back and different idiosyncrasies about since you've driven this path so many times. What
So
are
you
things
want-
you do? Do you stop at the same
So
place
do you
every
want
time?
no?
Do
Hold
you-
on. Do you want a video of the 4-hour drive from each one and then find them out, or do you want a video
No.
of talking about
it.
Yeah,
No, we're not. That takes way too much.
because I got good ones. I did it today by accident.
You took a video of the 4-hour drive?
No, I stopped at a place I didn't really need to stop at on accident
Because you normally
in
stop there?
Dubuque, the Hardee's and Taco John's or whatever that's right there. That's like right before. Yeah, I stopped there. We had already gotten food. I already stopped, but I stopped there, and Cheryl was like,
So
do you
what
do?"
were my 2 checkpoints? Do
And I
you
was
know?
like, yeah.
Which one?
It was. It wasn't Rosendale, Madison, and Dubuque.
You're so smart.
That's why I said I got it because I saw the first check.
Nobody else did.
I saw that. Well, that's why I had to respond to you because I saw the first checkpoint and I was like, I know where she is. Mainly because I called you when you were in Rosendale, so I kind of knew where you were anyway.
Rough guess. Yeah.
And I like your whoa, slow down. Anyway,
Mhm.
so yeah, we'll figure that out. Thanks
Okay.
for talking. Bye.